Get set, level up. Level up. Get set, level up. Level up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. It's Tuesday. The week is slowly dragging along. England played last night. Loads of heat on Twitter, and that is why I'm here to talk about it. Put your comments in the comment section below, and I will read them out. Last night, Jarrod Bowen performed for England last night, and I thought he'd done all right. I'm not going to lie. I thought he'd done pretty well. But he was so unlucky not to score, mate. What has this geezer got to do to score a goal for England? Now, Conser is just, I'm so angry. I am literally so angry with this geezer, man. Because he stopped me from winning some money last night, and I had Jarrod Bowen, anytime goal scorer. And yeah, that one was a painful one. You know what I mean? Getting it stopped by the goalkeeper, fair enough. Defender, okay. But your own centre half, yeah. And and then it falls to Harry Kane. He scores like anything. It's just it's a killer, really. Do you know what I'm saying? But no, I thought Jarrod done all right last night. I thought he looked alive. He needs to be on that plane to Germany, mate. He seriously does. Like this geezer, he's the future of West Ham, 100%. And he could be the future of England. Do you know what I'm saying? Like what he does, his movement and everything else. There was just so many times last night where the passing just wasn't right, and he'd either delay a pass or overhit a pass, and it was just, what I mean, it was never consistent enough. But Conser is just a complete prat, mate. Honestly, I was so angry last night. You wouldn't believe it cost me 180 quid. 180 quid. As I say, also, last night, there was a few Twitter spaces. Now, it seems like people have got a lot to say about Twitter spaces. Now, I'm here to give you my views because I do Twitter spaces. For me, it's a freedom of speech, isn't it? Everyone's got an opinion. Someone might have an opinion that I don't like. I have to respect it, whether I like it or not. And it should work the other way. It seems like now that you can't say nothing without getting criticised for saying something. Now, I see something on Twitter. I've seen something this morning, and I'm like, people need to seriously grow up. Really, they really do. Yeah, I allow anyone on my platform, whether it's Twitter, whether it's YouTube. That's what I do because I am no different to next man. No different. I'm a West Ham fan, West Ham supporter, and at the end of the day, that's all we are. Yeah, I allow anyone on my platform. Now, whether they are the most well-spoken man from the east side of Berkshire or they are John from Canning Town, I allow them on because it's how I work. I treat everyone the same, and then there's no divide. It seems like now you can't even have a Twitter space without people running back and being like a bit of a bitch, if I'm being honest. Yeah, and it's fucking stupid to a point. You need to grow up, mate. You know what I mean? There's too many grasses in this West Ham community and all. Yeah, fucking hell, mate. I'll tell you what, it wouldn't last years ago. I'd have been served up and out the door long before. So yeah, like last night there was a Twitter space and we was talking about Steidten and the future. Now I'm going to give you my take on it, yeah, because that's how I'm going to be. I am concerned about the situation with Steidten because Steidten can only do as much as Sullivan allows him to do. And people keep thinking that Steidten is the Messiah. We will know about Tim Steidten this summer. It's as simple as that. And obviously the Bruno deal and the current deal for Gimenez or whatever his name is, that has to be sorted out. And it hasn't been sorted out as yet. It's on, it's off, it's on. So I was in a Twitter space last night and we were just talking about it. And then it gets relayed back to other people and do you know what I mean? Makes us out to look like we're fucking idiots. Now, I'm not an idiot. I wasn't an idiot when I said about Lopetegui, and that's why I'm £2,700 richer than a lot of other people. Because I don't deal with fiction, I deal with fact. And the fact is that some people just act like fucking birds. They really do. Act like fucking bitching, like bitch fests all the time. And it's fucking stupidity, if I'm to be honest. Now, the Tim Steidten situation is as follows. Everyone is backing him through who I know. everyone has said that, you know what, we're going to give this geezer the opportunity to do his thing. Yeah, no one is against Lopetegui, no one's against Tim Steidten. All it is they are a little bit concerned, which I don't blame them, because I am concerned that we keep going over to Brazil and we're not getting no one through the door in East London. Now, everyone's got a right to be concerned, surely. Do you know what I mean? I've got a right to be concerned, yeah, because he's going over there, he's not signing no one. So there you go. I'm going to be concerned about it, and I'm going to call it out. It just seems like to me that you can't call anything out nowadays for some reason. You can't say anything negative. Yeah, you can slag off our manager, for like our ex-manager, for years and years and years, but you can't say nothing about anything else now. Like, because it's all sunshine and rainbows. Yeah, it isn't all sunshine and rainbows. There's a standard that has been set at West Ham United Football Club, and it has to be matched. Simple as that. And everyone said about the window not being open, understandable, but you can pre-arrange transfers and get them ready to rock and roll. We have got Euros, we've got Copa America, we've got the Olympics, we've got a lot of international sort of competitions and stuff that players who you could be linked with could be going away from, and we might not see them on pre-season. So the time is now to get the deal done, yeah, ready, so it gets announced on the 1st of July. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, with the Tim Steidten and these Twitter stuff, people need, if you don't like what you hear on Twitter Spaces, don't listen to them. Now, I've spoke to many people on Twitter Spaces over the years, yeah, and I run a fucking good one, yeah. I will say that. I allow anyone to come and have their say, yeah, and when people back like fucking dicks, I get them off, chuck them off, and that's it. And that's how it should be. Yeah, you should be allowed to have an open dialogue conversation without people bitching about it consistently. So there you go. I don't understand why people do it. I see some stuff last night and I was like, seriously, man. Like, you must have boring lives, mate. Love Island's on, other stuff's on. Watch the like political debate. Do you know what I mean? Or do something. Play COD or whatever. But you know what I mean? Just consistently moaning about Twitter Spaces is fucking embarrassing, mate. Yeah. Some of the people that I have done Twitter Spaces with over the years have all been pretty decent geezers. Now I'm going to shout out one person, Rob. Yeah, Rob's an old school sort of hammer. Yeah, and he jumped on the Twitter Spaces, speaks very very well, and me and Rob have had backwards and forwards over the years. But I respect the geezer's opinion greatly. I think he's a decent man. I think he speaks well. He's articulated in his comments and the way he comes across. But he's being branded something he isn't. Do you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like that. If you've got a problem with people, dig them out individually. Don't put it as a collective, because if you put it as a collective, then you're shaming everyone. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's not right. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, on the Twitter Spaces and Steidten and everything else, listen, Steiden's here. He's got a job to do. Where I'm going to allow him to do his job. He's got my support. But if things don't happen, then he's entitled to be questioned on why things ain't happening. I'm not going to sit there and say nothing and nothing and nothing, because people accept that. Do you know what I'm saying? So there you go. Right, let's get to that. Good morning from where I am. Do you see any big players leaving this summer? Yes, I do, mate. I am concerned, and that is going to lead on to my next thing that I'm going to talk about. And that is Lucas Paqueta situation. Now, I read something today from an article from the Sun, basically. And now you can believe what you like with the Sun, but I was reading it, and he's got done for people laying £7 bets all the way up to £400. Now, it tops up from what I read. Now, whether it's true or not, you can like take it on face value. But from £7 all the way up to £400, he's done the bookies out of 100 grand worth of bets, or winning bets. Now, that's a bit of a problem, really. Now, with the Paqueta situation, if he does get banned or this drags on, we've got two problems, really. We've got a player that is his mind really going to be on it if he's entitled to play, right? Can the player do the job on the pitch when, you know, like, he's got a big like court case hanging over him? And two, we can't sell him, and we can't get the money in to rebuild the squad. So I am a bit concerned about it. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about the Mohamed Kudus situation, where could he be out the door if Quetta isn't? Do you know what I'm saying? If someone comes in with a decent sized bid for him, Is he going to be gone? Now, I don't want him to go. I want him to stay here forever. But I've got to be honest, right? And that is a deep concern to me, because someone's going to have to make amends from the Paqueta situation. Because we all believed, and let's be honest, we all knew that Paqueta was going to go, this summer. And I think we all faced facts. And now this has all come out. It sort of derailed us in this sort of transfer market at the minute. So I'm a bit concerned about that. But hopefully he stays and West Ham can build around Bowen and him. Do you know what I mean? Because they're both talented players. But the Paqueta thing, £7 up to £400. Now, when I was reading it, it's scatter betting, mate, all day long, right? And I can understand the reason why it's took them so long to pick up on it. Now, if it was large bets like £1,000 and £500 straight bets all over the place, then I can understand. I can understand them, like the market spiking into sort of saying that there's a problem. But what they have done, from what I've read, is that it's £7 up to 400, and it's all scattered about. So you've got £7 there, £12 there, 15, 20, 100, 50, and it looks like it's individual sort of punts, and it all adds up to a total amount. And when I read it, I was like, that's scatter betting all day long. And I know about that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? From back in the lane. So, you know, that's a concern, man. It's a concern. Obviously, I did see something yesterday in regards of like his lawyers are looking to sort of get more time to get more evidence and things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him, and basically going from there. But the Paqueta sort of transfer has sort of fucked us to a point. It really has. It has really put us in the sort of mud, and we haven't really got anyone other than Bowen and Kudus who are sort of that stature of transfer. Now, Bowen ain't going to go anywhere, I don't think. I think he stays at West Ham for a long time. But Mo, he's a bit of a worry. If a team comes in for him and says, right, we're going to drop 80 mil in your hand now, will West Ham sort of think to themselves, let's get red now? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. But we will see. I could see him getting a suspension like Tonali from Juventus. Yeah, you know what? I think he does get. I've called it from the start. I think he does get banned. I think he gets banned between 1 and 3 years. The problem is, how long does this drag on for before the final announcement happens? Excuse me. Does it drag on for a year, and then he gets banned? Does it drag on for 2 years? Like, because if he takes it to court and it goes like, there's going to be a date set and it could get adjourned, and it could be a lot of ag. I'm going to be honest, it really could. But you know, it is. Yeah, it's not looking good, mate. It's not looking good. Now, I'm just going to be honest. He's 60 people have had them bets, from what I read. Yeah, and spreading them all out all over the place. That's why when I was talking about it the other week on a space, and I was talking about it on here, I said, when the market fluctuates, you start seeing patterns emerging, and you start seeing what everyone's got to understand is when you have a betting account, they read what you're betting. So if you're consistently backing the same thing over and over again every game, and the spike happens, then they start picking up on things. Trust me, the betting companies now are well on the ball with it, mate. Absolute 100% on the ball with everything. It's not like years ago when you could walk into a bookmaker's, you could put a bet down, and you could consistently go in there and do it. Now you get stopped, you get like it ends up being that you can just put a set amount in the shop before they have to bring up their HQ and go for it that way. You can only do it on the machines now. And I was in a bookmakers the other day, funny enough. I had a bet on something, and a Scottish geezer, was going absolutely mental. I mean, literally mad, because he had £200 on an horse. He wanted another, I think it was another 250 on an horse, and the woman wouldn't take it. She wouldn't take the bet. She was like, I can't take this bet. I've got to phone up. And, he was going absolute berserk. And he was literally, the race started and he was going mad. The horse actually won, and he was fuming. Like, it cost him something like 450 quid or something stupid like that. So it does happen, man. It does. And they are hot on this game there, especially with the Paqueta situation. I will say that. The latest story on Paqueta is that he's tried not to play He tried not to play against Bournemouth and also tried to get subbed out of that game. The plot thickens. Yeah, I think I'm going to be honest, Rob. Shout out to you, mate. Yeah, if that is the case, then it's just obvious, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? And I know people say like he's not guilty till he's like it's proven, but in that line of field which I'm in, you can easily find out who's defrauding and who's not. It's just common sense, mate. Honestly, do you reckon Southgate left Bowen on for 90 minutes last night as he likes him, or do you think he's unsure on him 50-50 for me? I'm unsure, Rich, if I'm honest. I thought Bowen done all right last night. I'll be real. I thought he done pretty well. Um, he's a sort of player that can play like on the right, or he can go up front, or he can do quite a lot of work. I think he definitely has to go, Rich. If I'm being honest, mate. If we don't see Jarrod Bowen at the Euros, I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to be like, I want to see him there. I want to see him on the pitch. And I think you feel it more when there's players of your own sort of club on there. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say shout out to Palace because fucking Palace have like somehow come from nowhere, and they've got like 3 players in the England squad somehow. So Eze for me he was very very good last night, and I look at him and I think what would have been if we didn't get Ben Rum and we would have got Eze because obviously our ex-manager wanted Eze. So yeah, my theory is he told his family, he told his friends and family he was going to for a yellow card, and they probably told other people. I don't think spread too much. It can be done, mate. It can be done. I said it the other day, funny enough, on the space, and Rob was in the space. Shout out to Rob. If I know someone, I use like Alfie as an example. Alfie's a professional footballer. He's playing a game on a Saturday, and I'll say, Alf, like, what do you reckon? Like, do you reckon you get a yellow card? If he says, yeah, I'm going to get a yellow card on Saturday, you've only got to go in and start lumping on the same thing over and over again. Now, I remember this years ago, funny enough. I can't remember a game where it was, but I remember the scenario. John Terry was playing in a big game for Chelsea against someone, and he was saying like 25-1 to get sent off in the game. And all of a sudden, he went from 25s down to like 2-1, I think it was, in the space of like, 90 minutes. I think it was like 2 hours max. Like it was mental. Like I can't remember what game it actually was, but he did get sent off. It was mad. Like I mean, people had 25s and the drop in the price. It just it was a bit of a killer. But it's not good. Let's put it this way, right? If that is the case, and he's sort of saying he wanted to be subbed and things like that, then I think I'm going to be honest. I think he's banged to rights. If I'm being honest, do you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know when you look at the challenges of Paqueta, obviously the Leeds one, and I said it the other week, the Leeds one you can take out the equation because I think that's a 50-50. But the Bournemouth handball and the Aston Villa challenge are blatant, literally blatant. And if you are in a marketplace where the market's spiking because he's going to get booked, then it don't look good, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? And when things don't look good, then they usually not. So um, let's talk about this transfer window while I'm at it. It's been a bit of a mental one. It hasn't even opened yet, and people have been going a bit mad, including myself. Obviously, yesterday, Lewis Guilherme, he was on, then he's off, then he's back on again. Now I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait till the transfer window fucking opens. Yeah, I'm not saying fuck all about anything, and I'm just gonna wait until he's in the shirt because 1 minute he's on, 1 minute he's off. Now, obviously, this is a huge window for West Ham. I don't think people really sort of understand how big a window this is. We need a major restructure of this side. We need defenders. We need a right back, covering right back. We need a covering DM. We need a left winger. And if Paqueta gets banned, which I believe he does get banned, we're going to need cover for him. Yeah, because he ain't going to be about. And we need a centre forward. So we need quite a lot. We need quite a lot of work in our sort of side. And I was speaking to someone last night, and was having a little bit of a debate about it on this space. And people were saying where they wouldn't mind West Ham finishing next year. Now, for me, West Ham have to be competing for top 10. Yeah, if Crystal Palace can get top 10 from a position of where Roy Hodgson was on the verge of getting them relegated to that point, he goes, Glasner comes in, and they end up finishing 10th. I think West Ham, with the players that we've got currently, you add to that and build around that, then West Ham should be getting top 10. Like, I don't think West Ham finishing 12th or 14th is acceptable. And the problem is that if that is the case and we do finish that, we will start losing our big hitters because they ain't going to want to finish mid-table every season. West Ham United. Do you know what I mean? Jarrod is an interesting one because I think he's ingrained in West Ham. Yeah, I think he loves West Ham. I think where his in-laws are West Ham fans, I think he's like, that's it. I'm settled now. I don't need to go anywhere. But Mohamed Kudus, Alvarez, Areola, all these other sort of players, they won't hang about, mate, if West Ham keep finishing mid-table. You know what I mean? And West Ham shouldn't be finishing mid-table. Well, as I always say, we're a big club. We need to start acting like one. And this summer window is huge. Now, there is so much happening on this summer window, like the Olympics. And I mentioned it last night, people laugh, but the Olympics got, like, France's team in the Olympics, going to the Olympics, is absolutely unreal. And then you see their team for the Euros, which for me, that they are the favourites to win it. I think England, I'm on the fence with at the minute. I don't see how England can win a tournament with their defence the way it is. Yeah. So if I was to have a bet, which I probably will have a bet on this, I would probably say France. Yeah, I think England's got a great six, like midfield and attack, but their defence is a problem. When I look at France's team, they've got multiple. I mean, like literally multiple teams that can just keep rotating. Like Saliba sits on the bench for it, right? So that just tells you all you need to know. And obviously, they've got Mbappe up there, and they've got some other real like gems in their side. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think with the Euros, and I am actually looking forward to the Euros. I'm not going to lie, I really am. I think the Euros will be fun. Um, and yeah, there's a good bet for England as it goes. England to be unbeaten, I think, in the group stages. I think it's even money or 11 to 10 or something like that. So if you like a bet, get over there. I agree, James. I think top eight and threatening top six is not asking a lot. I think for Lopetegui's sort of pedigree of what he is and what he's done with other clubs, I'm going to be a bit more relaxed and say top 10. Like, if West Ham don't get Europe next season, yeah, of any note, I'm not going to lose me like complete mind. But as long as West Ham ain't 14th, yeah. If people were moaning last year or a few years ago saying about West Ham finishing 14th, but we won the trophy, well, fuck knows what people would be like if we finish 14th now. Do you know what I'm saying? Because like that's not acceptable. That really isn't. Now, listen, you don't. Everyone says about West Ham of old, right? And I understand what they say when they say this. Yeah, West Ham of old, it is what it is. You go there to watch the football, but now it's got to be a collective. Now it's got to be football and progression. But because we're a big old stadium and we're signing potential talent, we need to be like having the ambition to be up there. Do you know what I mean? If Villa can do it, West Ham can do it. Do you know what I'm saying? I was out on a Saturday night and I went to my in-law sort of birthday thing, and there was a Villa van there. We were talking about West Ham Villa, and we were having the discussion about what would you rather have? Because I obviously said to him about the conference. We're like, was you disappointed not to win the conference? And he said to me, he said, yeah, it's all well and good, but I'd rather see Villa playing Champions League. And I was like, I get that, but wouldn't you rather have that moment of winning something and going, oh, we've just won something as a collective, as a club? And he wouldn't have it. He simply just would not have it. He's like, well, I've never seen Villa win anything for donkey's years. Like, I'm not fussed now. And I think there's two sides of that. Like, there's the mentality side of saying, well, I want to keep progressing and I want Villa to be a top, like, Premier League side or win something. Now, I would always choose West Ham to win something every single time because life's too short. And let's be honest, winning something is what you're in it for. Like, when you compete in any competition, you're in it to win it. I want to see West Ham win stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, for me, Like, was there like right proper backwards and forwards on the weekend with a few beers, and yeah, he's happy though. He's happy. Like Villa in the Champions League, and he asked me about obviously Lopetegui, and I turned around and said it's going to be interesting to see how he handles sort of the West Ham pressure. Because let's be honest, one thing with this fan base, if it don't go right, he'll be told pretty quick. So it's going to be interesting to see in how he sort of develops over the season, so to speak. I think transfer activity depends heavily on sales. Yeah. Excuse me. There is a lot of sales. Don't get me wrong. Kera, Ben Rama. I think someone said it to me the other day, if I remember rightly. They said, "Don't be surprised if a lot of these players are staying here, like the ones that we think are going to be going, like your Maxwell Cornets, your Danny Ings, and things like that." Ben Johnson, I think he's gone. Bonner, he's gone. So we're going to need some help, especially in defence. Now, defence is a major thing for us. Like 74 goals, I think it was last year that we conceded. That is fucking terrible, isn't it? Let's be honest. So we need like proper defenders, and we also need to. If we do get defenders in, we need them to hit the ground running straight away. What we really need, for me personally, because I can't speak for anyone else, but it seems like everyone else speaks for people, and I'm not doing that this year. I'm speaking for myself. This geezer here, claret blue. Um, for me, we have to make sure these players hit the ground running like Alvarez and Kudus did. Yeah, I don't think we can really have players coming in who are we like that with, but we don't know what we're going to get. Yeah, I think they've got to be quality, and they've got to come in and they've got to hit the ground running, especially in a defensive aspect. Now, I think Zuma should go himself because I'm not convinced with him as a defender and as a captain to a point. And he's got 1 year left. Do you give this geezer a 1 year extension, or do you sort of just run the contract down, let him go next year for free? Now, I'm not convinced on him. I really am not. So I think he should go. I think Aguerd is an interesting one. If Lopetegui fancies him, I think he might stay. But if Atletico Madrid, I think a link with him, and if they can pay the money that we sort of got back off him when we signed him, then I'll take that all day. Bowen is miles better than Saka and will score the winner in the Euros final. Do you know what? I've always thought that. I wonder if we ever got to the Euros final, I'd be reliving Prague again, wouldn't it? You know what I'm saying? Him running through, scoring a goal. Do you know what I mean? He'd be literally a living legend, mate. If someone can if England can get over the line against everyone in the competition and win the competition, it'll be pandemonium in England. The only issue with England is sometimes I think they beat themselves. With us fans, England fans, we think we've already won the competition before we've won it. Do you know what I'm saying? And France are very smooth in what they do. Now, I had money on France to win the World Cup, and they lost in the final against Argentina. And they're a really good outfit. They just know how to win competitions, and they've got a conveyor belt of talent. But then so have we. I'm going to be honest, so have we. But it's just our defence is a bit. We haven't really got anyone at world class level at centre half, and I think we've got world class players all around the pitch. But at centre half, I just don't think we have. I really don't. Yeah, he's back on now. The transfer that failed. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Like, I wish someone would keep basically saying it's on, it's off, it's on. You know what I mean? It's like fucking enter the deck, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be Jack Rosso and was it Steinberg the other day turning around. Let's all celebrate that. Basically turning around and saying that it was off. Obviously, everyone sort of kicks into gear, does their videos and stuff, and next thing you know, it's back on again. You know what I'm saying? One thing that was mentioned last night, which I want to know what people think on it, yeah, is that if we sign this geezer, is there a possibility that we loan this geezer either back to Palermo's or we loan him out to a club in Europe somewhere and give him a year's sort of learning, and then basically, is he going to be the man that replaces sort of Mo in like a year's time? Be interested to know what you think on that. David Sullivan is the problem. He most certainly is the problem, my friend. You know what I mean? People think that people go a bit quiet with old Sullivan. I won't, because I despise that man. Yeah, I think he's just an absolute wrong on what he done to the locals. And what makes me laugh, it does, it really fucking, really, I have to laugh at people, is when people who are not from East London, they might live out in like Cheshire or fucking Berkshire or Surrey or something, and they say, oh no, Sullivan's all right, but they don't know the art of it, mate. Don't know the fucking art of it. And like for me, I only live sort of 10 minutes from Upton Park on a train. Yeah, I can be in Upton Park in 10, 12 minutes. And I know a lot of people around there because I used to play pool around there in the pubs and all that for years. Some of the shit that years ago is unreal. That's why I would never set foot in the way he's there, mate. Because he's just a con man. And also Brady and all. Biggest blaggers that you're ever likely to meet, ever. Do you know what I mean? And the sooner they go, the better. Now, I did see Jack Sullivan's sort of interview on a podcast the other day. I thought he spoke all right, but when he speaks, I don't know why. If you just close your eyes, it just reminds me of his old man. Yeah, and the thing is, it ain't his fault, but I don't know about him. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. And someone said it on Twitter. It really wouldn't surprise me if Sullivan said to Jack to take over, give him a few more years. Like, Sullivan will drag this out all the way to the end and then hand it over to him. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how that will go down. Do you know what I mean? Having another Sullivan in the ranks, but it is what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? So there you go, people. I've done half hour. I sort of spoke about as much as I can in regards of West Ham. I enjoyed my break. One thing I will say, I had a week, 10 days, I think it was. I had a nice break away from YouTube. Went on Twitter a little bit, but to speak to people about different things, but to get away from YouTube was quite nice, if I'm honest. Do you know what I'm saying? No stress and none of this bitch fest that you say something and it goes back and it's like in WhatsApp groups and group chats and all that. I am so fucking glad that I'm not a part of any of these WhatsApp groups, group chats and things like that, mate. I probably am a part of it. I'm probably the talking point of some of them, but yeah, fuck that, man. I like to live my life like clean and fresh, and that's how I always will be. But it's going to be interesting in the next few weeks to see how like things sort of develop in the West Ham world. You know what I mean? Steidten. Before I sort of wrap this video up, people are back in Steidten. Yeah, certain men are a bit skeptical. I'm going to be honest. I'm one of them. I'm a bit like, this geezer's got enough to perform. Yeah, and I've got every right to feel like that because this is a major rebuilding job that he's got to do. And I think where he has been gassed up, and he has been gassed up to be the next Messiah. Yeah, he needs to deliver, and the time is now to deliver. Like people say about last year, fair enough. He signed a few players last year, but this is more important than last year. Like, because look what we need. Like someone said last night, we need 6 players. I think we need about 8. Like, I think when you go through it, I think we need 2 centre halves. I think we need a right back, covering DM, a left winger. We need cover for Paqueta if he gets banned, and we need a centre forward at this club. Like, if West Ham do not sign a centre forward this coming summer, then I just don't know what is going wrong. Like, I seriously do not know what is going wrong in that sort of world. Like, of why West Ham can't go out and get a striker at this club. I've seen was it Marcus Edwards being linked, the Sporting Lisbon player, ex-Spurs trainee, decent player. Trust me, really, really good for £20 million, I think it was. Now he's another right-sided player, left-footed, right-sided. Like, and that's the concern I have a little bit, that we're getting linked with so many of these sort of left-footed, right-sided players, and we are really going for like what we already have like the best in Kudus and Bowen. It's just like, and that's one thing I will say that has to change this season. Yeah, just to sort of round this up, is that we have to be more balanced this season. Yeah, last season we were so unbalanced, it was unreal. like playing. I remember us playing Ward Prowse at left back or left wing back at one stage, and then he was on the left wing, and you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm all for sort of being like different and changing things around, but like we've got to have players who can come in and do the job, obviously, and like get them in now rather than later. So it's going to be interesting to see how that sort of pans out, and obviously who goes and all. Do you know what I'm saying? Like who really will go? Will Fling Downs go, or will he stay and things like that? So it's going to be an interesting summer, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to say that, but I'm going to back Steidten. I'm going to back Lopetegui, as you do, because that's what you do as a supporter. You back him, yeah, because he hasn't done anything wrong to not back him. You've got to trust the process and look at the project. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what the project is, yeah, because you know he's got to deliver, and he's got every right to deliver, because that's what some people expect. Tim must have a list of 5 players in every position that needs sorting. So don't join them. I can live with that. I get it. I get it. But it's all on Tim now, Ralph. That's the real thing. It's all on Tim now, because you can't blame Moyes no more. David Moyes, the ex-manager, yeah, because he's out the door. Yeah. So now Tim's gonna have to deliver. Now, will he deliver? I think he will. I think he will. But when we are getting linked with players in Brazil, and we're not really seeing any actions, so to speak, other than Guilherme, which is on, off, and we just don't know. So, we've got to, he's got to deliver this summer. It's as simple as that. And that ain't being a negative, that's just being real. It seems like you say something that is not sort of what people want to hear, and they get offended by it, and they have to start like reporting it back to HQ. So, it is what it is. But he's got to deliver, and we need to be looking up rather than down. Now, West Ham finishing mid-table this season, not for me. West Ham have to be a top 10 side. That's what we've been made into. Like, we don't go back to being West Ham of old when we've just been West Ham of top 10 ability. Do you know what I'm saying? It'd be fucking stupid. And if we go back to being that, it won't last long before a lot of our big hitters want to leave and go to clubs that are pushing for that. So, yeah, it's going to remain to be seen. But, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Right, I'm going to wrap that up there. I really do appreciate all the people who have been watching, listening, taking notes, taking it all back to HQ and doing their thing. Do you know what I mean? One thing I'm going to say is do not judge people, ladies and gentlemen. Do not judge anyone. You know what I mean? Whether you agree or disagree, we're supposed to all be West Ham fans. It's supposed to be the West Ham family, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, but it just seems like there's a lot of grasses. Yeah, and I fucking hate grasses with a passion in this sort of world. And there's a lot of grasses in the world at the minute, and especially in this West Ham community, which is pretty sad, if I'm being honest. Do you know what I mean? Get a life, don't be a grass. And it's as simple as that. Anyway, enough from me. The sun is shining. It is Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you again in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and bosh.
Level up, get set, level up.